Awaken within, discover the hidden path to inner peace and spiritual awakening. The call to awaken. I want you to take a moment, right now, to look within yourself. Feel the rhythm of your breath, the quiet whisper of life moving through you. Do you ever wonder why you are here? Why you, among billions, are alive in this precise moment? We often get so caught up in the noise of life, bills, ambitions, relationships, the endless notifications on our screens, that we forget to ask the most profound question of all: who am I? You see, the journey to inner peace and spiritual awakening does not begin with answers. It begins with questions. Bold and unrelenting questions that strip away the layers of who we think we are. I am here to guide you into that space of questioning. A space where you might discover something extraordinary about yourself. Imagine this: your mind is like a vast ocean. But for most of your life, you've been fixated on the surface, the ripples of your daily thoughts, the waves of your emotions. Rarely do you dive deep enough to see the treasures hidden below. I ask you now, are you ready to dive? Because that is where the hidden path to inner peace lies, not in the external world, but in the quiet, mysterious depths within. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself walking along a narrow, winding trail in the forest. The air is cool, the light dim, and you can hear the rustling of leaves as the wind weaves through the trees. With each step, you feel an unfamiliar sensation, a pull, a calling. The path is faint, barely visible, yet you know it's there. What is this feeling? What is it that calls you forward when you cannot see the destination? This is the hidden path within you, the one we often ignore. It's subtle, elusive, but it is always there, waiting for you to notice. And here's the first truth I will share with you: the search for inner peace is not about escaping the chaos of life, it's about learning to find stillness within it. The world will not quiet down for you, but you can quiet your mind for the world. You might ask, how do I begin? How do I quiet the endless chatter in my mind? The first step is simple but profound: awareness. Not control, not suppression, but pure, unfiltered awareness. Become the watcher of your thoughts rather than their prisoner. When fear arises, watch it. When doubt creeps in, observe it. Do not judge, do not resist. Simply be present. But here's the challenge: being present means surrendering the past and the future. Letting go of the stories you've told yourself about who you are and who you must become. Can you do that? Can you let go of the idea that you are your successes, your failures, your possessions, or even your relationships? If not, ask yourself this: who would I be if all of these were taken away? We live in a world obsessed with more achievement, more knowledge, more wealth. But the truth is, inner peace is found not in accumulation but in letting go. Let go of the need to be right, the need to be understood, the need to be perfect. As you release these attachments, something incredible happens: you begin to feel lighter, freer, more connected to the essence of who you are. And here's a paradox that may surprise you: the more you let go, the more you gain. Not in material terms, but in terms of clarity, purpose, and joy. When you stop clinging to what you think you need, you create space for what truly matters to enter your life. Now, I must ask you something that may stir an uncomfortable truth within you: are you living your life? Or are you merely surviving it? Be honest with yourself. So many of us move through life on autopilot, driven by fear and habit rather than intention and love. But what if, just for a moment, You stopped and chose to live consciously. To take each breath, each step, with awareness and gratitude. This is not just a theoretical exercise. Try it now. Breathe in deeply and feel the air fill your lungs. As you exhale, release all the tension you've been holding on to, perhaps without even realizing it. Can you feel the shift? Can you sense the beginning of something new, a quiet awakening stirring within you? Inner peace is not a destination, it is a state of being. And spiritual awakening is not an event, it is a process. A journey. Along the way, you will face challenges, doubts, and fears. But remember this, every challenge is a teacher. Every doubt an invitation to deepen your understanding. Every fear an opportunity to find courage. As we close this first part of the journey, I leave you with a question to ponder deeply: what would it feel like to be truly free, not from external constraints, but from the limitations you've placed on yourself? Take your time with this question. Sit with it. Let it sink in. And when you're ready, let's continue the journey together. The next step will take us even deeper into the heart of awakening. The mirror of truth, facing your shadows to embrace inner light. You've taken the first step. And that in itself is extraordinary. Now, as we move forward, I must tell you something that is both difficult and liberating. The path to inner peace and spiritual awakening will inevitably lead you to confront the shadows within yourself. These are the parts of you that you've hidden, denied, or been too afraid to face. But I ask you this: how can you find light if you refuse to walk through the darkness? Let us begin by understanding these shadows. They are not your enemy. They are not the villains of your story. In fact, they are misunderstood messengers. Each one holding a piece of your truth. Your fears. Your regrets. Your anger. Your pain, all of these are shadows that you carry. But what if, instead of running from them, you chose to listen? What if you asked your fears, what are you trying to teach me? Take a moment to reflect. What is a shadow that you've been avoiding? Is it a mistake from your past? A part of yourself that you don't like? Or perhaps it's a fear of failure, rejection, or being alone. Whatever it is, I invite you to name it, to bring it into the light of your awareness. Because here's the truth: what you resist persists, but what you embrace transforms. Imagine you're standing in front of a mirror. But this is no ordinary mirror, it reflects not just your outer appearance but also the deepest parts of your soul. What do you see? Is it a person weighed down by guilt, doubt, or shame? Or do you see someone yearning for freedom, for peace, for love? Look closely. The mirror does not lie, but it also does not judge. It simply shows you who you are, in all your complexity. Now, I must ask you another question. One that might challenge you: when was the last time you forgave yourself? Not superficially, not with words alone, but truly forgave yourself for every mistake, every shortcoming, every moment of weakness. Many of us carry the weight of self-blame, and it becomes a barrier to our awakening. But here's the thing: you cannot move forward while dragging the past behind you. Forgiveness is not about condoning your mistakes, it's about releasing their hold on you. Take a deep breath. Imagine that with each inhale, you're gathering all the self-criticism, all the blame you've placed on yourself. And as you exhale, let it go. Visualize it leaving your body, dissolving into nothingness. Can you feel the release? This is the power of forgiveness, not just towards others, but towards yourself. As we continue, let us explore a profound truth: your shadows are not separate from your light, they are part of it. Just as night gives way to day. Your darkest moments have the potential to lead you to your brightest insights. The pain you've experienced, the struggles you've endured, they have shaped you, taught you, and prepared you for this very journey. But there's more. Awakening is not just about understanding yourself, it's about transcending yourself. To do this, you must let go of the stories you've clung to, the story of being a victim, the story of not being good enough, the story of needing to prove yourself. These stories may feel familiar, even comforting in their predictability. But ask yourself, are they serving me? Or are they holding me back? I want to share a simple yet powerful practice with you. Find a quiet place where you can sit undisturbed. Close your eyes and imagine a small flame burning in your heart. This flame represents your true essence, your purest self. Now, visualize your shadows, your fears, doubts, and regrets approaching this flame. As they draw near, notice how the flame does not shrink or extinguish. Instead, it grows brighter, stronger, as if it's fueled by these very shadows. Let this imagery remind you that nothing within you is too dark or too broken to be transformed into light. And yet, transformation requires courage. It requires you to face your pain, not as an adversary, but as a teacher. So let me ask you, what is one pain you've been avoiding? And what might it teach you if you allowed yourself to feel it fully? In our avoidance of pain, we often numb ourselves, not just to discomfort, but also to joy, love, and connection. The path of awakening is not about escaping pain, it's about embracing life in its entirety, with all its beauty and complexity. When you allow yourself to feel deeply, you open the door to healing and growth. Let us end this part with a final reflection. Imagine you are standing at a crossroads. One path leads you back to where you came from, a life of comfort, familiarity, but also stagnation. The other path is uncertain, challenging, but filled with the promise of discovery and transformation. Which path will you choose? And more importantly, why? The choice is yours. But know this, the path of awakening is not for the faint-hearted, but it is for the courageous. And I believe you are far braver than you realize. The infinite horizon, embracing unity and becoming the light. You've walked through the shadows, faced your fears, and begun to let go of the stories that no longer serve you. Now, the path stretches before you like an infinite horizon, beckoning you to step into a new way of being. But what lies at the end of this path? The answer is both profound and simple: you do. Not the you defined by your name, job, or circumstances, but the essence of who you truly are, boundless, luminous, and connected to all of existence. Take a moment to consider this. What if you were not separate from the world around you, but an inseparable part of it? Imagine yourself not as a solitary wave, rising and falling alone, but as the ocean itself, vast, interconnected, and eternal. This shift in perspective changes everything. Suddenly, your struggles, fears, and desires are not isolated events but expressions of a greater whole. You begin to see that every experience, every emotion, is a thread in the grand tapestry of life. Let me ask you, when was the last time you truly felt connected, not just to another person, but to life itself? In the rush of daily living, it's easy to forget that we are part of something much larger than ourselves. Yet, when we pause to observe the beauty of a sunrise, the intricate patterns of a leaf, or the gentle rhythm of our breath, we catch a glimpse of this truth: we are not separate from life, we are life. This realization is the essence of spiritual awakening. It's not about escaping to a mountaintop or retreating from the world. It's about living fully, here and now, with an open heart and a clear mind. It's about recognizing that every moment, no matter how ordinary, is a doorway to the extraordinary. But awakening also comes with a responsibility. Once you see the interconnectedness of all things, you begin to understand that your actions, thoughts, and intentions ripple out into the world like waves in a pond. Ask yourself, what kind of energy am I sending into the world? Am I contributing to love, compassion, and understanding, or to fear, division, and judgment? This is where the journey becomes truly transformative. Awakening is not just an inner experience, it's a call to action. It asks you to live in alignment with your highest values, to treat others with kindness, and to approach life with a sense of wonder and gratitude. It invites you to become the light you've been seeking. Let me guide you through a practice that embodies this truth. Sit quietly and place your hands over your heart. Breathe deeply. And as you do, imagine a warm, radiant light glowing within you. With each inhale, feel this light grow brighter. With each exhale, imagine it spreading outward, first filling your body, then the room, and finally extending into the world around you. As you do this, silently repeat the words, I am the light. I am the love. I am the peace. Notice how this simple practice shifts your state of being. It's not about forcing positivity or denying challenges, it's about tapping into the wellspring of peace and love that already exists within you. And here's the profound truth, the more you connect with this light, the more you'll see it reflected in the world around you. But let's take this a step further. Awakening is not just about your individual journey, it's about our collective journey. Imagine what the world would be like if more people awakened to their true nature, if they realized that beneath our differences, we are all connected by the same essence. Imagine a world where compassion replaces conflict, where understanding dissolves division, where love transcends fear. It may sound idealistic, but every great change begins with a single step. And that step begins with you. So I ask you, how will you bring your light into the world? Perhaps it's through a kind word, a helping hand, or simply being fully present with those around you. Perhaps it's by pursuing your passions, standing up for what you believe in, or creating something beautiful. Whatever form it takes, know that your light matters. It touches lives in ways you may never see or understand. As we near the end of this journey, let us return to the question we began with, who am I? By now, you may realize that this question has no final answer. It is not a puzzle to be solved but a mystery to be lived. And in living it, you discover that the path of awakening is endless, as vast and limitless as the horizon itself. The great spiritual teachers have often said that enlightenment is not something you achieve, it is something you remember. You remember that you are not the wave but the ocean, not the shadow but the light, not separate but whole. This is the hidden path to inner peace and spiritual awakening, not a destination, but a way of being, a way of seeing, a way of loving. As we conclude, I leave you with one final question: what will you choose to awaken within yourself today? This is not just the end of a script, it is the beginning of your journey. Take this light with you. Share it. Live it. And know that wherever you go, the path is always within you. Thank you for walking this journey with me. May you find peace, joy, and boundless love in every step you take.